Okay, what the hell was that all about? Okay, can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Testing, 1, 2, testing, hello. Testicle, spectacles, wallet, and watch. Let's see if this worked. Hopefully it did. So I just rambled for a good few minutes, so I'll kind of just reiterate what I just said. So, you guys have seen me review plenty of things from Adroit Theory before, and I'm going to be taking a look at this one called RIOT from their G.I. Joe inspired series of beers. And this guy comes at a whopping 10% ABV, and I'm excited. Anything when it comes from Adroit Theory, they make fantastic beers, from barley wines to like imperial IPAs to stouts, you name it. I want to try to get my hands on some of their sours they've done. That's what I like, a goal of mine for right now. But this one is a triple IPA, brewed with, I believe it's Mosaic, Citra, and Cashmere hops. So I'm expecting some nice tropical fruit notes coming through, some nice citrus. Of course, that Cashmere is kind of give that little piney, like, earthiness to it that I think a nice triple IPA sometimes needs, because what I've noticed I've get from a lot of triple IPAs is a good upfront sweetness. The booziness is always there, but having that kind of pininess to kind of cut through that sweetness a little bit to balance everything out, I think is going to be a great kind of combination for this. So, without further ado, let's crack this guy open. Of course, I'm going to be drinking out of my Heart of the North glass this afternoon, so let's see what we get on the smell of this damn thing. Okay, so... Oh, okay. Definitely that kind of bright, almost citrus is coming through a lot. Definitely getting those like piney elements mixing through it. The pine is actually coming through a lot more than I thought. I think that's going to balance out really well. There's definitely a slight booziness on the nose coming for it, but it's going to expect like a nice, pillowy, soft mouthfeel for a nice triple IPA, and I think this is going to be exactly what I'm looking for this afternoon. So let's see how this guy pours. Oh, yes. Of course, if I didn't mention, there is lactose in this to kind of help with that kind of soft mouthfeel. But look at that. That looks absolutely delicious. You can see all that sediment in there. That is just some of my favorite stuff in beers, just because that's concentrated flavor. Oh yeah, that smells absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So without further ado, let's give this guy a try and see what this thing's all about. So, cheers everybody. Happy Wednesday. Oh yeah, wow. Of course, the pininess does come through, but it's actually not as predominant as I thought. So I'm assuming that they didn't, because I'm thinking that they added the. Actually, was it Cashmere or Cascade? I think it might have been Cascade. Hold on, let me check that for you. Okay, so it's Cascade. So the Cascade brings a nice kind of pininess, of course, like a little bit of an earthiness to it, which I am getting. I'm not getting as much as I thought I would. But overall, the flavors are still absolutely fantastic. This is definitely has a very heavy mouth, like heavy, like pillowy soft, almost, I don't want to say it's a higher gravity, but it's definitely smooth. It has a creaminess to it. And it's just overall just really well balanced when it comes to getting that right, like nice citrus up front. And then you get a nice sweetness along with it. Of course, the booziness is definitely predominant in this one. It's definitely some of the reasons why I like triple IPAs, because I like a little bit of booziness in my IPAs, because I think it helps bring out a little bit more of those flavors. But overall, this thing, yeah, this is pretty fantastic. Definitely, if you're a hophead, this is definitely one to kind of have on your list. I'm only saying that after a few sips, too, and it's fantastic. Yeah, that mouth feels pillowy soft. Kind of feels like you're drinking the cloud almost. So yeah, let's see. Of course, you guys know by now that I usually go on Untappd, and if you can't get your hands on anything from Adroit Theory, of course, Untappd does a really cool thing to where they kind of list off similar beers to this one, just in case if you can't get your hands on the stuff. So let's see. We got one called Fuzz Double Hazy IPA from Hoppy Road. Of course, they have the Morpheus from Adroit Theory on here. And then I'm not even going to try to say this name of this IPA or the brewery, but it looks like it's from overseas. Yeah, it looks like probably it might be in Germany or something like that. But then we got the Valraven, Valvrin. I don't even know how to say that. I'm going to go Valraven. I don't know, from Thornbridge Brewery. And of course, you got the from the Stone Brewing Company, you got Fear Movie Lions Double IPA. So let's see here. What would I consider a similar one to this one? Because I might be leaning more towards the fuzz. I don't know. The Simcoe is gonna. I guess you can. I feel like the fuzz is definitely gonna be more tropical, like a tropical fruit instead of like the citrus being a predominant flavor. But overall, let's see what this one is. Oh yeah, I think you could probably. The Fear Movie Lions Double IPA from Stone, I think, might give you a pretty close experience. Of course, it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be as creamy in mouthfeel just because there might not be lactose in there. And then, of course, having like the lower ABV definitely kind of does anything to it a little bit. But overall, yeah, I would say the Fear Movie Lions one from Stone Brewing Company might be a pretty close second when it comes to kind of getting a similar experience to this. But overall, let's see here. What does Untappd say about the description of this guy? So our right here it says, our G.I. Joe inspired series continues with RIOT, pairing citrus-forward aromatics with notes of pine and rich, pillowy body, mild finishing bitterness provided for balance. And it's a double dry hop with Mosaic, Citra, and Cascade. So Mosaic, definitely going to bring in tropical fruit notes. Citra is going to bring in all that citrus flavor. And then kind of the Cascade is going to bring in that pininess along with a slight kind of citrusy note to it. So, which I think you can, everything balances really well. Cascade's a pretty common American hops that gets put in a lot of beers when it comes to definitely adding a little bit of a piney and citrusiness to it. Just kind of give it that IPA feel almost. So, yeah, it's a pretty common hops to be putting in pretty any style of American IPA. So, let's look at, see here. Like I said before, it's 10% ABV. And with over 2,068 ratings, this was an average rating of 4.18 out of 5 on Untappd, which is pretty damn good. And I know this line has been around for a minute already, so let's see if there's anybody on my friends list who's checked this one in. Of course, the one that I was expecting to be on here, my father, he checked this in August, and he gave it a solid 4 out of 5. So him getting a 4 out of 5 of stuff for an IPA, I only see it when it comes to like the triple IPAs and those higher kind of ABV IPAs from him. So overall, yeah, let's see here. What else? Let's look at the global rating, see what people check this one in at. So this person gave it a 4.75, saying 19 Supercraft, which I wonder if he's overseas and kind of doing like a advent calendar. Yep, so these look like they came in advent calendars overseas. So let's see, we got another person that gave it a 4.25. Let's see, another 4.25. This person gave it a 4. This person gave it a 4.75. Let's see, another 4.25. Another 4.25. Purchased at Revel Beer Cans, which is definitely another place overseas. Let's see, 3.75. We got a 4. Let's see, we got another 3.75, 4.25, 4.5, 3.25. But what the hell? That's weird. Okay, so apparently he checked it under as RIOT, but it's not even the right beer, so that's interesting. Let's see, we got another 4 out of 5 purchased at the Sorry Tap Room, which is in, yeah, a lot of stuff overseas right now being checked in for this beer. So I think that's really cool, seeing people in like Europe and all that stuff be able to try American craft beer and experience stuff that we're normally experiencing over here. But overall, yeah, this stuff's absolutely delicious. Love that citrusiness, the kind of the tropical fruit notes in there, kind of give it a nice sweetness almost. And just a pillowy soft mouthfeel. It's like you're drinking a cloud almost. So it's overall, it's perfectly well balanced. I think there's not really much I can flaw this on. Maybe having it a little bit more of the Cascade in there to kind of bring that little pine note a little bit forward to kind of balance out that sweetness a little bit more. Because I'm assuming they added it during the whirlpool, which is when you're adding hops to the beer during the whirlpool, it's not going to add an IBU rating to it. It's not going to add bitterness, but you're going to get those natural flavors that come from the hops to kind of breathe through a little bit when you add it to the whirlpool. So overall, yeah, I think they still did a fantastic job on this one. So let's start figuring out what we're going to be doing for ratings on this guy. And of course, I don't think this one's available right now at the taproom or anything, but if you go on Adroit 3's website, which is down in the description below if you didn't know, they are able to ship to pretty much most of the states in the country right now. I think they've promoted that they can ship to 48 out of the 50 states. And right now, I believe they have one from this line that is available to purchase as like a pre-order still, because they're about to come off with this one, like they're kind of releasing it again. So they got the Rage Hazy Triple IPA, which is part of this line, and I believe the other one sold out because they had the Raze one available, but that sold out pretty damn quick. So if you want to get your hands on a beer from this G.I. Joe inspired line, you can go over to Adroit Theory's website and purchase it for yourself. It's still on pre-order, so you're probably not going to see anything when it comes to shipping on this till after the pre-order date. And of course, when I purchased a bunch of stuff on here, so I'm probably not going to get my order shipped to me until like the last pre-order date is gone through, to where everything is available to put into a box and ship. So, but they have a good amount of beers available, cans on their website right now, to where you can get their stuff. So if you ever want to try things from Adroit Theory, go on their website. They have plenty of stuff available. It's mostly pre-order still, so you might have to wait a little bit for it, so just keep that in mind. But overall, you're going to have a fantastic drinking experience. And I know they're pretty available when it comes to being available on the East Coast. I know I've seen them up in Massachusetts and all that kind of stuff, definitely in Virginia. Some like more kinds, I think they kind of get towards DC as well, along with getting towards Philly a little bit. So if you can get your hands on, if you see this one from Adroit Theory, yeah, just get it. I think you'd really enjoy it. If you like triple IPAs, this is definitely going to be one you're going to enjoy. It's like, because it's definitely more hoppy than your usual typical IPA, but the flavors that balance out with it so well is just makes it such a worthwhile kind of drink experience. And they did an amazing job with this one. So let's see what we're going to be doing for ratings on our end here. So let's look at can art. Well, let me pour the rest of this in. And yeah, I really like the can art this one. Of course, I wasn't the biggest G.I. Joe fan like growing up, because I guess when the action figures and stuff were around, it was kind of before my time. But I like the most recent movies and stuff, so I can always appreciate really cool like action kind of movie themed or like different stuff like that. So of course, you got Snake Eyes on the front for this one, the Riot, and of course I really like that teared, like almost weared down American flag. You could kind of see like it's worn a little bit, kind of getting that like G.I. Joe theme to it. Of course, the big Riot on the bottom, and then their kind of slogan, which is consume life, drink art. And of course, they do like their typical like really cool stuff when it comes to like different logos and insignias on the side. So it says triple IPA right there, and then a little bit more stuff. I don't think there's anything else. Yep. So it's just the same thing on the other side. So one side tells you it's triple IPA, and then the other side tells you like when it was brewed, when it was canned, and what. So they did 12,000 in this last batch, and I got number 9,387. So yeah. So overall, yeah, I would say for can art, I'm gonna give this a solid 4 out of 5. It's definitely not when it comes to my favorites from Adroit Theory. When it comes to can art, it's definitely not up there, but I appreciate the really cool kind of theme when it comes to making a G.I. Joe inspired line, because they do so many different themes when it comes to beers. They do ones for like Mad Max. They've done one for Dune. Of course, they did the G.I. Joe series, and I know they've done the EBK series, which kind of is like a samurai theme. So overall, they really like playing around with different themes and different kind of, I don't want to say their can art kind of tells a story a little bit, but the detail they put into their can art is extraordinary. It's like, I rarely find a beer from Adroit Theory that I don't want to save the label from, just because they do it so well. So yeah, solid 4 out of 5 for can art for me. And let's see here. If I got this beer in a flight at Adroit Theory, would I get another one? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's hard for me to say I wouldn't get another one of pretty much anything that Adroit Theory releases, to be honest. I love all their stuff, and all the beers, pretty much all the beers that I've had from them have been amazing. So it's like they kind of keep a style that's just something that I love, and I don't know if they have, let's see if they have any of the from this line available. Okay, so they do have the Raze on tap over there right now. So if you're not available to pick up the Raze because the pre-order's done, you can get your hands on it through the tap room if you're over by Adroit Theory. Of course, that one has Cobra on there, so which is really cool. But then they have a bunch of other different varieties. Of course, they have some English barley wines, and then for like the Christmas kind of thing, so the one called the Holiday of Horror, and then they have an IPA that's kind of Christmas themed called Satan's Workshop. So they get in a little bit of holiday spirit over there in their own kind of way, which I can appreciate. But yeah, they have a bunch of cool stuff available over at there. They have your normal hard seltzer, you got your sours, your fruited gozes, your smoothie sours, all that kind of stuff. So they pretty much have something for everybody right now, which is a really cool thing. They have your IPAs, stouts, you name it over there. So if you can make your way over to Adroit Theory, if you're ever in the area, don't hesitate, just do it. And that's awesome. Dope, Kevin. Let's see what you pick up, what you drink for the first one. So yeah, Kevin made a really good kind of reminder for me. If you ever guys want to get your hands on anything from Adroit Theory and you can't get them available, I always recommend getting yourself on Tavour if you can get stuff shipped to you from them, because Adroit Theory is on Tavour as well. And with how the app goes now to where you can actually follow breweries through the app to where you'll get notified whenever they have a release through Tavour when it comes to any of their beers. You could possibly get another release from one of these ones from the G.I. Joe line and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to get your hands on stuff from Tavour, of course, you just got to download the app. It's available on Android or iPhone. And you put in your zip code right away and they'll let you know if you can get stuff delivered to you from them. I know availability for Tavour starting to ship to people is kind of growing a little bit just because they're finding little courier services to kind of ship their stuffs to, so they'll deliver it to the customer. So that's really cool they're doing that. So, and if you want a referral code, of course, you can get a hold of me in the DMs. I can send you a link to where you get a free $10 worth of beer to buy, along with giving me a free $10 of beer worth to buy, which I could always appreciate. But let's go back to what we were talking about with this beer, and let's figure out what my final rating on this guy is going to be. I think I'm going to give this a very, very solid 8.25, almost an 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoy it. This is definitely another very, very solid hazy IPA from them. Of course, when it comes to triple IPAs, Adroit Theory does a really good job at most of the stuff they do. So this one is just another one to add to the list of more delicious beers that I enjoy from this brewery. And, of course, I'm going to hopefully get a little bit of buzz after drinking this whole thing, which is nice. But at the end of the day, yeah, flavor profile is subjective, so you can maybe try this one and may not enjoy it as much as I do. That's just how things roll, but it is how it is. Thank you. I just want to thank everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. I think that is pretty much what we have for today. So thank you again, everybody. Thank you, everybody in chat. You guys are amazing. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel and you like what you're seeing over here, make sure to hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell. It'll let you know when I ever go live to another review. And let's see, if you want to see a social media platform to beer drinking where you can see people like me, Kevin, Ian, Dutch is on there, Logan's on there, Wintucky's on there, Sean and Lizzie, the Typhons, the Angry Hippies themselves, and who else is on there? Lee. There's a bunch of us on Untapped. It's a great platform. It's pretty much social media for beer drinking, where you can drink beers, check in badges, check them in, and then get badges, all that kind of stuff. It's really, really fun. And they have different little services when it comes to that app too, with getting like discounts for different services when it comes to craft beer, along with having really cool different things going on over there. So just download the app. It's available on Android or iPhone, or if you want to just use it through your desktop, you can go on the website. That's available as well. But just look around on that app. It's really fun. You'll be very surprised at the things you can find on there. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. So again, thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. And I'm going to end this like I always end it before we get the hot air. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I will see you all next time. Cheers.